Hello, this is Dr. Evelyn Ross. It is a pleasure to have you here with me today. I would like to start with a scene that I am sure many of you know all too well. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. The house is completely silent, but you are lying there with your eyes wide open. Once again, you feel that nagging call from your bladder. You sigh, toss the covers aside, and make that quiet pilgrimage to the bathroom. And the worst part is, it is not the first time tonight. Maybe you go back to bed and stare at the ceiling, feeling a deep sense of frustration while you watch your partner sleeping soundly like a rock. The next day, what are you left with? Emotional exhaustion, brain fog, and that feeling that your vitality is just draining away. Many times when I see patients in my office, they tell me the same thing. They say, "Doctor, I guess this is just the price of getting older, right?" They believe that chronic fatigue and the fear of tripping in the dark are inevitable parts of life after 60. But I am here to tell you something very serious and very clear. It does not have to be this way. You do not have to accept a life of broken sleep and exhausted days. Over more than 20 years of practicing medicine, I have dedicated myself to understanding the mysteries of the urinary system. I have seen thousands of men and women come to me without hope, thinking they would never sleep through the night again. But I have also seen those same people transform. That is why today I have not brought generic advice. I have brought a urology master strategy. It is a method about how, and most importantly, when to drink water. It is so logical that you will wonder why nobody told you this before. But before we get into the solution, you need to understand the scale of what we are facing. Did you know that 70% of adults over 60 wake up at least once a night to urinate? For many, it is 2, 3, or 4 times. In medicine, we call this Nocturia. And here is the first warning. Just because something is common does not mean it is normal. Nocturia is not a harmless side effect of aging. It is actually a siren going off in the middle of the night. It is your body sending a warning signal, and the consequences of ignoring that signal are much more serious than simple tiredness. Think about it. When you get up in the dark, half asleep, your balance is not the same. The path to the bathroom becomes a minefield. A loose rug or a piece of furniture out of place can cause a fall. For an older adult, a hip fracture can be the start of a very fast decline. Losing your independence because of a trip to the bathroom is a tragedy we can avoid. Then there is your cognitive health. I always tell my patients that deep sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity. Imagine your brain is like a large company. During the day, the work is intense and a lot of waste and toxins pile up. It is during deep sleep that the cleaning crew moves in. If your sleep is fragmented all the time, that cleaning does not happen. The result? Poor memory, trouble concentrating, and in the long run, a higher risk of brain diseases. It is not just your age making you forgetful. Often, it is the lack of a full night of sleep. And what about your heart? Every time you wake up suddenly, your body releases stress hormones. Your blood pressure goes up and your heart rate speeds up. Putting your cardiovascular system through that shock several times a night increases the risk of hypertension. Not to mention the emotional impact. Chronic fatigue steals your joy, makes you irritable, and can lead to depression. You stop being yourself. But why does this happen as the years go by? I like to explain it with a metaphor. Imagine your body has a sort of nighttime brake, a hormone called ADH, or anti-diuretic hormone. It tells your kidneys, "Hey guys, it's time to sleep. Slow down the urine production." As we age, the body produces less of this hormone. It's as if the brake is worn out. The urine factory keeps running at full speed while you are trying to rest. There is also the issue of fluid redistribution. Imagine your legs are like sponges. If they swell a bit during the day, that fluid does not just vanish. When you lie down, gravity stops holding the fluid down there. It goes back into your circulation, passes through the kidneys, and ends up in the bladder, waking you up a few hours later. Now that you understand the mechanism behind the problem, you might be thinking, so is the secret just to stop drinking water? And this is where we get into the myths that are making your situation worse. The most common mistake I see in my office is a patient saying, "Doctor, to avoid going at night, I drink as little water as possible all day long." It sounds logical, right? Less water in, less urine out. But the human body is not a simple bucket. When you dehydrate yourself during the day, your urine becomes extremely concentrated. Think of that concentrated urine like lemon juice hitting an open wound. It irritates the walls of your bladder. That irritation makes the bladder nervous, and it starts sending signals that it is full, even when it is not. Plus, when you finally drink something in the late afternoon because you are dying of thirst, your body enters conservation mode and processes it all at once. The result? More trips to the bathroom at night. Therefore, drinking too little water during the day is actually counterproductive. Another myth is the famous line, "Oh doctor, my problem is that I have a small bladder." In the vast majority of cases, the problem is not the size of the tank, the bladder, but the rhythm of the factory, the kidneys. It does not matter if you have the world's biggest tank if the nighttime production is out of control. And the third myth, which is one of my biggest challenges, is that glass of wine to relax before bed. Many people think alcohol helps them fall asleep, but alcohol is a powerful diuretic. And even worse, it completely shuts down that brake I mentioned, the ADH hormone. Drinking alcohol before bed is like taking your foot off the brake on a downhill slope. Your urine production will skyrocket. So what is the way forward? How do you get your nights back? I have developed a strategy I call the ASIM method. It's a simple acronym to help you remember. Adjust, soften, stop, integrate, and manage. Let's go through these steps together. And I guarantee this will change the game for you. The first step is A for adjust. Adjust your hydration. The secret here is what I call front loading. You should drink most of your liquids in the first half of the day. The golden rule I give my patients is to try to consume 75% of all your liquids before 4 in the afternoon. Imagine your body is like a garden that needs watering. If you water it early, the soil absorbs it and the plants use it. If you dump all the water at the end of the day, the soil gets soaked and the water overflows. When you wake up, drink 1 or 2 large glasses of water to wake up your system. Keep taking steady sips throughout the morning. Do not wait until you are thirsty, because thirst is already a cry for help from a dehydrated body. If you hydrate well by lunchtime, your kidneys have the whole day to process it while you are upright and active. The second step is S for soften. Soften the transition. Starting at 4 in the afternoon, we enter the landing phase. You are not cutting off water abruptly, like turning off a faucet, but you are reducing the volume. If you're thirsty, have half a glass. Dinner is a critical point. Try to eat dinner at least 3 hours before going to bed. And during dinner, drink only what is necessary to help swallow your food. No full glasses of juice or water. This tells your body that the shift is ending. The third step is S for stop. This is the sacred zone. This is the strictest step. Set a window of 2 hours before bed where you drink absolutely nothing. If you go to sleep at 10, your last sip of water should be at 8. No exceptions. This is the time your kidneys need to do the final filtering and send the rest of the urine to the bladder before you fall asleep. If you drink something during this time, urine production will be peaking right when you put your head on the pillow. The fourth step is I for integrate. Integrate electrolytes. Often, the water we drink does not enter our cells efficiently. But trick I teach is to add a tiny pinch of natural sea salt and a few drops of lemon to your first glass of water in the morning. The sodium in the salt helps push the water into the cells, and the lemon provides potassium. This makes your morning hydration much deeper, which will greatly reduce that desperate thirst at the end of the day. And the fifth step is M for manage. Manage your dinner. What you eat is just as important as what you drink. Avoid spicy or very acidic foods at night, as they irritate the bladder. Avoid excess sugar, which can increase urine production. And of course, avoid foods with high water content, like soups, watermelon, or cucumber during the evening. Save those treats for lunch. Your dinner should be rich in protein and cooked vegetables, which keeps your blood sugar stable and does not overload the urinary system. That is the ASM method. But I want to give you a few support techniques that are like high-performance tires for the engine we just built. The first technique is double voiding. Have you ever felt like you just went to the bathroom and 20 minutes later it feels like there is still something there? This happens because the bladder did not empty completely. To solve this, try this ritual before bed. Go to the bathroom and urinate normally. Sit on the toilet, even you men. Sitting down relaxes the pelvic floor muscles and allows for a better flow. Once you finish, do not get up. Wait 30 to 60 seconds. Relax. Now, lean your torso forward a bit and try to urinate again. You will be surprised at the extra amount that comes out. That little extra can be the difference between waking up at 3 in the morning or sleeping straight through. The second technique involves what I call the gravity elevator. Remember the fluid that builds up in your legs? Let us get ahead of it. About 1 or 2 hours before bed, while you're reading or watching television, raise your legs above the level of your heart. Use pillows on the sofa or in bed. This uses gravity in your favor to return the fluid from your legs back into your circulation. Your kidneys will process this while you are still awake. You will go to the bathroom before lying down, and suddenly the fluid is gone before it becomes a nighttime problem. And finally, watch the salt shaker. I mentioned using a pinch of salt in the morning, but too much salt in your diet overall is a disaster. Salt retains water and forces the kidneys to work twice as hard to get rid of it. Watch out for processed products and deli meats. Cooking at home is the best way to protect your bladder and your blood pressure. I remember a patient named Mr. Miguel, a 72-year-old grandfather who loved building miniature ships in bottles. He had stopped his hobby because his hands were shaking from lack of sleep. After just 2 weeks of following this protocol, he called me with a brand new voice. "Doctor," he said, "I slept 7 hours straight." 7 hours. I did not even remember what that felt like anymore. This transformation is possible for you, starting tonight. Getting your sleep back is a decision. It is the decision to stop accepting exhaustion as normal. If this talk made sense to you, I would like to ask for 3 things. First, click the like button. This helps this video reach more people who are suffering in silence because of Nocturia. Second, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss our future conversations about health and vitality. And third, and this is very important to me, go to the comments right now and tell me how many times you wake up per night to use the bathroom. Do not be ashamed. By writing down your number, you're taking the first step toward changing that reality and helping others realize they are not alone on this journey. Thank you for your time and for your trust. Now, follow the steps we discussed and get ready for the best night of sleep you have had in years. You deserve this rest.